Hello, I'm John Craven, and I'd like to tell you how you can save money and help to protect the planet by putting cavity wall insulation into your home. It stops heat escaping into the atmosphere and adding to the problems of global warming and climate change. But even if you're not particularly concerned about such matters, well, cavity wall insulation helps cut down household bills, and that's important to everyone. Let me tell you what people are saying about InstaFibre. It's here in some of the customer letters. Thanks for filling our cavity walls with your amazing fluffy stuff. The whole house feels much warmer already. My fuel bills are lower since you installed your cavity wall insulation. So very pleased that you've carried out the work for us. And I'd like to say how very pleased I am with the result. I've felt the benefit straight away. Heat rises, and in older houses, much of it goes straight up to the chimney or up through the roof and into the sky. So once you've lagged the roof, and before you start thinking about expensive double glazing, insulate the walls. Most modern houses have two walls, an outer wall and an inner one, and there's a gap between them to stop the wind and rain. If there's nothing between the inner and outer walls, well, heat will simply radiate through. So to stop that happening, you need this stuff, cavity wall insulation. There are several types of it. Over there, we've got white and yellow wool, which is spun from glass. And this green wool here is actually made from rocks. Or there's expanded polystyrene beads. Now, your installer will help you to choose which one is best for your house. And then the main thing is to give the go-ahead. If you don't, for every £100 you spend on heating bills, more than a third of it won't keep you warm. It'll disappear through the walls because there's nothing to stop it. Filled with insulation, the gap will act as a weather shield and make your home much warmer. As you can see from this demonstration, insulation material flows easily to fill the gap totally, even flowing round sharp corners. There can't be many better or more certain investments that you can make. In the 2 or 3 years after cavity wall insulation has been installed, it will pay for itself. Or put it another way, after 2 or 3 years, 1/3 of all the money that you'd have spent on heating will stay in your pocket. Nowadays, in all newly built properties, insulation is put in during the building process. But well over 90% of all homes constructed since 1930 weren't built with adequate insulation. So it's up to you to make sure you're covered. Your local InstaFibre installer will send round a surveyor and he'll check whether your house is suitable for insulation. And if it is, he'll measure the outside and then subtract the space taken by windows and doors to calculate the area that needs to be filled. He also has to discover the width of the cavity. In this case, Trevor here is drilling a test hole. In houses built after 1930, the average gap is around about 6 centimetres. That's 2.5 inches. All the measurements are entered on the customer report and quotation document, so the exact volume of insulation can be calculated. You'll then be given a quotation, and assuming you accept, the work is usually quite straightforward and causes little disruption.
Okay, nice to meet you.
Thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing the installation team next week.
Okay, thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I decided to have cavity wall insulation because I'm very environmentally conscious, and my house was quite cold in the winter time.
And if you see the facts and figures on the reductions in your fuel costs at current prices, it's got to be a good bet for the future that those savings will increase.
Well, I decided to have it done to save energy.
And money. My friend had it and she was pleased with it, and I was really glad that I had it because everybody was so friendly when they came and did it.
I know people have had it done and can vouch for the fact that it is energy saving and cost saving, so it's good enough for me.
The installation team usually consists of 2 experienced installers who should be able to complete the work on an average-sized home in half a day.
Great guys that came round that day to do the job. You know, lots of cups of tea, but they got the job done, I think, in about half a day.
They said they'd be at 10 o'clock, and they were. And they got cracking. Everybody seemed to know what they were doing.
There was a little bit of noise. I thought there was going to be a lot of noise, but I hardly heard a thing.
You wouldn't know that they were there. They just heard the drills, and after that it was very good. Just nothing, just lovely.
These holes are necessary because that's how the insulation material gets into the wall cavity. There are as few holes as possible, all drilled to a set pattern to guarantee that all of the wall cavity will be filled with InstaFibre. Obviously, there are some places that you don't want to fill up, air bricks, for example. So they're blanked off with these clever little things. The insulation is kept within the walls and the vital airflow is maintained. Tom certainly knows what he's doing, and if he didn't, it'd soon be found out by the independent inspectors. All InstaFibre installers are checked and rechecked every 3 months for competence.
Holes were bored, stuff was pumped in, and it was done in 3 hours. Quite remarkable, I thought.
Your installers will blow the material into the cavity through hoses. It's made from natural minerals found in the ground, which are processed into material a bit like cotton wool or candy floss. Once inside the blowing machine, it's broken into smaller pieces that flow easily in a stream of air into the wall cavity. Every so often, the nozzle blows back, and that means that that section of the wall is full up. The air pressure in the hose is controlled to ensure that the amount going in is correct and uniform around each hole. When every hole is full up, the wall cavity is completely filled and the blowing part of the installation is over.
At the end of the day, you didn't even know they'd been there, even to the extent that they mixed the mortar to the colour of the mortar that was already in the walls, which I thought was quite something, so that there was really no evidence of where they'd drilled.
There was very little mess. In fact, I hardly saw any. I think there was a little bit of dust outside, that was all.
And not only was it done, but the place was all cleared up, hosed down and spanking new.
My central heating now actually works thermostatically. It actually goes off in the winter time, and I've been here 10 years and I'd never done that before.
Oh, I wouldn't hesitate in recommending it. I would definitely recommend it. We're summertime now and it's cooler inside. So I think that we've got to look at the cooling effect as well as the effect of maintaining heat in the wintertime. I look upon it as a sound investment.
InstaFibre has more approved installers around the United Kingdom and the Republic of Ireland than any other home insulation provider. They're all part of the InstaFibre Consortium, the country's leading independent network of installers. They are supported and trained by experts at InstaFibre's headquarters in Berkshire to guarantee a service that is second to none. Every cavity wall filled comes with a 25-year guarantee like this one, endorsed by the government. And the British Board of Agrimon's approval for InstaFibre's environmentally friendly product means it really does make a contribution both to your pocket and to the world in which we live. And by the way, as fuel prices rise, a high energy efficiency rating is bound to add to the value of your property. It's not just me urging you to insulate your homes, it's all the conservation campaigners, it's the government, it's the gas and electricity suppliers. And insulation is now even part of the compulsory building regulations for new houses. So check whether your home needs insulation, and if it does, get it done. Having a gap between the walls is as daft as having a space between the ears. Keep your heat in there and not out here. Thanks for watching.